In this episode of What Can I Grow from the Grocery Store, we take on a favorite which I frankly have not had much luck with, avocados. Usually my wife starts our avocado seeds, then she gives them to me to take care of, and generally I manage to kill them. The problem I have is that avocados are very sensitive to cold temperatures, usually dropping leaves when it gets to near 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So even in Central Florida, I must give them very special care in what passes for winter around here. And usually at some point I make a mistake and they die. Okay, it's Memorial Day weekend and I'm in the mood for Mexican food. And what does that mean? Guacamole, otherwise known as avocado. These are I believe these are Mexican or South American avocados. We do have a variety that is much larger than this that grows in Florida that can handle our cooler winters. These guys, if you're going to grow these, of course you're going to have to take your local conditions into consideration. These things do not like cold weather. You might have to baby them, you might have to bring them in the winter, you might have to put them in a greenhouse, whatever you can do to keep them alive through the winter. I've had a lot of trouble with that over the years. What you're going to need is one or more avocados, collection of my world famous yogurt cups, a few toothpicks, there are a few toothpicks, good sharp knife, probably a spoon. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice down through this avocado, and it's not completely ripe, so I really should leave it on the windowsill for a few days. But I want to cook today, so we're going to see what we can do with this. And you put the knife in and you feel for the seed. You'll feel the seed. It's about the size of a golf ball, roughly. And you just slice around this thing all the way around, trying not to cut into the seed. Now, since these are a little bit not so ripe, using the knife to pry with, pry it open, get rid of that part. We don't need that for the video. There's our seed. Big sucker. Hopefully that discoloration doesn't mean that it's going to be bad, but we shall see. I'm going to use a spoon now to try to very gently pry the seed out of the other half. I'm trying to be gentle. I'm trying not to cut into it, and there we go. Mangled it up a little bit. Yeah, mangled it up a little bit, but we'll see if we can make it work. So, on this seed, you got the one end where the stem was at. Now, I'm not certain, but I think that's where the roots are going to come out of. Needless to say, I'm no expert at this. I don't have any avocados growing in the backyard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that, and for this one, since we're experimenting, I'm going to plant this one with the stem side up. So I'm going to take my toothpick, shove it in a little bit. Don't want to go too deep, just enough to prop it up. You're going to use 3 toothpicks and go around at 120 degrees more or less. And you'll notice that I'm putting them at a slight up tilt. There's a reason for that. And there goes my third toothpick. Now I'm going to take my trusty yogurt cup and set that seed into the center of it. Get some water and fill that cup up with water so that the base of the bottom of the seed is down into the water. A little bit more, and you probably can't see that, but basically I've got the water almost up to the lip of the cup, and that's it. Now you put it in a nice sunny windowsill, or do like I do. I'm going to put it out under the lights in the lab, and then you wait. which I seem to do a lot of in these videos. So I'm going to prepare a few more of these. I'm going to try one with the flat side or the stem side up. I'll try another with the stem side down, and we'll just see what happens. And maybe in a few years we might actually get an avocado, but I doubt it. Based on past experience, I tend to doubt it, but we shall see what happens, and I will keep you informed. Let's do an avocado update. This guy here, I noticed, is starting to split. I hope that's a good sign. But it is starting to split all the way across the top. So far, I'm not seeing any roots forming. This one is not, you can't tell for certain if it's starting to split. It might be right along this line. And root growth, nothing. But that's something happening anyway. There's our avocado update. Let's see, speaking of things wanting to grow, look at that ugly avocado seed. I seriously expected this to die months ago. I don't recall how long it's been since I planted this. The other one that I planted did die, but you can see this guy is trying to grow some leaves and roots. Yeah, it has some roots. They're funky looking, but they are growing. See if I can get this back into the water. So that guy is starting to grow some leaves. I can't believe it. That avocado might actually survive. Let's talk avocados. Look at this little guy. I know I've said it before, but I expected this thing to die a couple months ago. The avocado seed was all turning brown and rotting and such, as you can see there. But eventually it split open, or started to split open, and it produced a bunch of roots. And it kept producing roots, so I left it alone, let it keep trying. And then it started growing this shoot. And now it's growing leaves. So I think it's time to put this guy in some dirt and see if it's going to continue to grow. Now I set up a big pot over here. Want to make sure there's plenty of room for it to spread its roots out. Here's a comparison. That's what it's in now. That's what it's fixing to go into. So I'll be putting that down in the middle of this hole after I take it out of the yogurt cup. I think I'm just going to leave those toothpicks in it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, here we are. As you can see, I put it in so that the top of the seed is just barely poking through the top of the soil. Left the toothpicks in there. Now I'm going to water it in. I'm going to keep it in here under the lights for a while before I put it outside. Hopefully it'll have a chance to take hold and be happy. I'll keep you updated. Just a quick little avocado status update. There's our avocado seed in the ground. I put it outside, actually in a pot. Got to keep it in a pot. Got a bunch of leaves at the top. Seems to still be happy. I keep it in a pot because in the winter I still have to take that thing inside somewhere. Probably will never get avocados out of it because I can't really let it get big enough to grow avocados because I have to keep it small enough that I can move it. But so far still happy, so I hope it stays that way. Well, since I'm wandering around out here, let's take a look at my avocado. The one that I thought was going to die. I was almost certain it was going to die. It's about 8-10 inches tall now, and it's growing avocado leaves. I did keep it in a small pot because here in Florida, I have to bring this thing in the house or somewhere in the winter, when we have a winter. This is Central Florida. Our winter only lasts a week or so at the most, and it's nothing like the winters in the rest of the state. But the avocado is still going strong. I sure hope I get lucky this time and keep one alive.